Hey guys, welcome to Camman Reviews. Today we've got a comparison video of the Westone Pro 10s versus the Shure SE315s. Both similarly priced IEMs, slightly different sound signatures. Let's see how they compare. So here we have both the IEMs, and as you can see, the Pro 10 on your right has a far lower profile body than the Shure SE315. Now, in my opinion, this makes it a much better fit than the Shure IEM because it stays in your ear and it doesn't protrude out of your ear whatsoever. And sure, if you have bigger ears, then the SE315 won't actually come out of your ear at all. But if you have quite a shallow inner ear, then you might find it just pops out a little bit ever so slightly, and this means you're more susceptible to wind noise and it snagging on stuff if you're like wearing them to sleep or running with them. On the Westone IEM, you can see there's a very flexible wire that molds around your ear, very light and flexible, so you don't really feel it on your ear. If we take a look at the Shure version, I do dislike this on the Shure very much. It's not my favourite design whatsoever. You've got this wire here, and it's very, very rigid. It's got like a layer of tubed plastic around it, so it conforms to your ear and molds to it a little better. But I find it's very heavy on the ear, and it doesn't actually do a great job of molding around it anyway. So there's no point for it. Um, that said, they're still quite a comfortable pair of earphones, and you're not going to be too uh, not in too much discomfort wearing them, but certainly less comfortable than the Pro 10s. As you can see, both IEMs support a removable cable, which is definitely a good thing if the cables are susceptible to breaking. Both cables on these IEMs I find are both very high quality and therefore they're very unlikely to break. But you know, in the unlikely event that they do, you can always just swap out the cable and put in a different one. And it also means you can use aftermarket cables. If you're like me, you don't like the Shure cable, you could potentially just buy a different one and plug it in, and then you've got rid of that problem. As far as reliability goes, I can't complain with the Westone Pro 10s at all. They've never let me down. Whether I've been walking with them for ages or just using them for hours, they've never cut out or anything at all. Uh, with the Shure SE315s, I have had a little problem with the left earbud because the connection doesn't seem quite as snappy as the right earbud. If I show you quickly, you can see that comes out very easily, and plugging it back in, there's not too much of a nice uh, click to let you know that it's been plugged in. Whereas with the right earbud, it's significantly harder to get it unplugged, and when you do plug it in, you get a much louder snapping sound, which just makes me more confident that it's going to stay plugged in. Now, I don't have a problem with it actually unplugging itself, but if I turn my head to the left when these are plugged in, it puts a little bit of strain on the connection here, and every now and then it might cut out ever so slightly. Only when you're looking to the left does it actually do it, but it's a very annoying thing anyway. And if this was being used by a musician who's very active on stage, you can see how it's going to become a problem. The quality of the cables themselves on both the IEMs is very good. I would say the Shure one here, the clear cable, it feels a little bit more sturdy and there's a little bit more uh, stress relief here to make sure the cable doesn't get any stress and over time breaks. On the Westone cable here, you can see there's pretty much no cable stress relief, so that connection could become a little dodgy over time. However, overall, they're both built to very high quality standards. So you can see it's got a very good fit on my ear. This is the Westone Pro 10 in right now, and it's very snug in the ear, and as you can see, doesn't protrude out at all, which means you get a very good fit. The Shure also gives a very good fit, and it feels snug in there, but as you can see, it takes up a far greater deal of room in there than the Westone does. So if you have even shallower ears than me, then you might find that it comes out far too far to keep the negative profile fit nice. So on to what is, I think, the most important part of this review is the sound quality. On the Westones, you've got a bright, airy sounding IEM, which has great detail. It's very revealing, very accurate, very articulate and analytical, all these A words, but that's what they are. Very analytical is probably how I'd sum them up. Um, Whereas the Shure SE315s, they're a warmer, richer sounding headphone. Still very detailed, very good with its response at the higher frequencies, but there's a lot more meat down there with the bass. That sounds a bit bad, but yeah, carry on. There's a lot more to the bass. Probably not more detailed than these, but far more extended, and it has a lot more character to it. It's a brilliant sounding headphone if you want the warmth of the bass. Whereas these, the bass that is there is very articulate and fast, and it sounds brilliant. Although for most people, I'm sure that there wouldn't be enough there. Um, it's just quite simply not very bassy. It's quite a lean sounding headphone. Now, like I said in the full review, which you can see in the description, or I might put an annotation somewhere, that's brilliant with these if you're a live musician and you want to cut through the sound of your band, if you're in a live music situation. Whereas these, there might not be quite enough separation between the frequencies to get a good to break through the sound of other members in the band if you're using it in a live music situation. That said, I think these are probably more accustomed to just portable everyday music listening. Um, you're going to be able to listen to these for much longer because their warmer sound signature means your ears won't get quite as fatigued as they do with the Westone Pro 10s. Um, but that's all down to opinion. Objectively, I would say the Westones probably create a better sound. Um, there's just a bit more detail there, and I think it's far more accurate. But in my opinion, I would definitely go for the Shures as far as sound quality goes because I just prefer that warmer sound signature, and I don't like how harsh the Westones can get at higher volumes without any kind of equalization or tweaking. Um, but yeah, that's the opinion side. Objectively, I'd say the Westones are slightly better. So that's sound quality there, guys, in a nutshell. You can view the full review of the Westones, and I'll have a full review of the Shures up in the future. So thanks for watching my comparison of the two headphones. Overall, I would say the Westone has a greater overall package. Um, as I said, the design of the Westones, in my opinion, far exceeds that of the Shures. They're far more low profile, they fit better, and the wire going over the ear is so much more comfortable. As far as sound quality goes, I would go with the Shures. But both are brilliant for their price, varying between $150 and $200, or about 120 UK pounds. So a good deal either way, I think. So thanks for watching and stay tuned for more videos.